Hello and welcome to the Crit to Block podcast. We're your hosts, Eric Maylott
and Richard Lavery,
here to bring you in-depth conversation about Star Wars Legion. Today, we are going to talk about how to choose between different versions of characters.
Legion has had multiple versions of characters for a while now, but with unit upgrades starting to be released, and possibly being indicative of a new trend with future releases, we wanted to have a conversation centered around how we think through the different options that we have available to us. By giving you some structure for how to consider the various options going forward, hopefully you can make the best choice for your list. Returning to the show tonight to help us with this discussion is our very own Kentucky Dan.
Hey everybody, I'm glad to be back and glad for an opportunity to talk about my favorite unit in the Republic.
Favorite unit though? Okay, well.
All right,
until
I like that
drops.
cliffhanger. Oh, yeah.
Well, yes. Until Plo Koon
All right,
drops.
we made it. It was 56 seconds before he said Plo Koon, so whoever
Yeah.
took the under, you probably won.
Yeah, you win a prize on that one, so, well, great. It wasn't even 56 seconds since he was introduced either.
Nope. It was just, it took no time at all.
Well, excellent. We're going to dive in because there's a lot to talk about this episode. We're going to start off with the very own Rebels, so I'm going to hand that over to Eric to
That's
hit
me.
us with the first group.
Yeah, so we have been privy to spoilers for a new version of Luke coming, so there's now 3 versions of him. So we're going to talk about pros and cons of each, I guess. We'll start with Commander Luke. Pros, in my opinion, would be Courage 3. Rebels really need that Courage bubble, and he is our only source of Courage 3 from a named character. He's a really solid all-arounder with some support keywords like Inspire and okay attacks. He's not going to go blow up a big squad by any means, but he does pretty solid chip damage, I guess. And with keywords like block and his red dice, he's pretty survivable. So he's a nice little all-around kind of unit for Rebels. On the downside, he, again, does not excel at anything in particular. So that's just not really a thing that Legion plays into. Like certain times we can have all-arounders excel, but Luke isn't especially good at anything, which makes it kind of difficult to find a spot for him. And as Commander Luke, you can't take Luke's 2 best command cards up for discussion, maybe 3 best command cards once we get into Tauntaun command cards. And so I think that really, in general, like his command cards don't really support the army. You can't take some of his best ones as Commander Luke. And so
What are the 2 best that you're saying here? I am a
Jedi is the potential game changer when you just turn off attacks of really powerful units. The other one would be Son of Skywalker.
Serve your master well.
Serve your master, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one he doesn't have access to, which can be very powerful if you pair it up with a good unit like Super Fleets or something.
Yeah. I will say he does use Son of Skywalker pretty well because if you eliminate the target you're in with, he does still have a decent ranged weapon to be able to make that second attack with, which at least the operative version lacks.
Yes, that is true. He is better equipped for Son of Skywalker, which is nice.
Especially if you can somehow have like Leia or somebody with Exemplar, then you can long shot that thing out to range 3 with Pierce. Like,
yeah, I mean,
not
the
bad.
problem is you're trying to kill something with 2 red, 3 black, Pierce 1, and it's like the thing's got to be hurting for that to reliably kill something.
It had to already be injured. Okay.
So alternatively, you could take Operative Luke, and Operative Luke is a whole different animal. He has Master of the Force. He's Rebels' only access to Master of the Force, which is a very powerful keyword. He's got Courage 4. He's got Disengage, 7 health. All these things are like really good. It makes him by far the best Rebel Force user. And, just in general, he's survivable. He could do a lot. He can access Serve Your Master well, which we already mentioned, can pair really well. You can get a bonus attack out of that super squad of fleets or something else that you really want to hit twice in a round. And I Am a Jedi is a potentially game-winning card if you time it right. On the downside, again, his command cards still don't really help the army a whole lot, and he's really expensive for what he's a very good piece, so he should be expensive, but at the same time, he can struggle to kill things reliably with just 7 black dice as his attack. Every once in a while, you roll those and you get like 2 or 3 hits, and you make sad Luke noises, and
And Rebels aren't exactly known for their aim generation and support, so there's not really a way to fix that super well.
Yeah, exactly. Third option, I don't want to get this. Third option is purely speculative with Tauntaun Commander Luke, but the initial pros I see is the On Patrol command card. Like you just mentioned, we are famously lacking in aims, and that command card, you get Observe 8 as just free actions.
Yeah, that seems
And
pretty decent.
It's real good. The dodges you get if opponents end their move or end their activation within range 2 of a creature trooper, that creature trooper gets a dodge. Like free dodges, always good. It helps Luke. It helps regular Tauntauns if you're bringing him. It helps Han on a Tauntaun if you're bringing him.
He also has just free actions.
He has free actions. I feel like he probably wants to do those actions on himself. But again, he's kind of in that all-arounder. He can support some things a little bit. He can support himself. Again, he's not particularly good at any one thing when he's riding the Tauntaun. His melee attack somehow gets worse than his commander version. It's 3 white and 3 black. And it's...
Might push back a little bit on that one.
Okay, push.
3 black, 3 white, surge to hit. I guess the training slot for Tenacity is a wash, but the ability to be lethal 1, so it's now Pierce 2 and Ram, so you're guaranteed upgrading 1. You're starting averaging like 3 1/4. With Ram, it takes it up to like 4 1/4. Pierce 2, that's about the same that Commander Luke's putting out, but at Pierce
it's about
1.
the same. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
It's not blowing my socks off on first glance. Again, we have not played it. We'll see.
I also think spur on that thing, being a speed 3 Tauntaun, it's like you always have burst of speed.
Yeah.
It should have just been speed 3.
It should have.
Spur is...
So
at
that's one
2,
of my
that's
cons.
Rude. Yeah.
One of my cons is he now doesn't surge to crit, and he is down to courage 2. And so, the thing that has always plagued Tauntauns is they just get suppressed, and they get 1 action, and they lose their effectiveness really quick. Granted, he gets free spotter 1, free take cover 1, so he's going to have some free actions. He can hopefully help with that. But I think,
I mean, he's basically got quick thinking built into him.
Yeah.
Like free action quick thinking.
Which he can share with other people, which is like he can do it to other people if he doesn't want to do it himself, which is
really
nice.
Good.
Yeah. I think that's good.
He's also the cheapest of the 3 Lukes.
True. Yeah, so maybe it's okay that he has some downsides compared to the other ones.
He's basically Inquisitor price, right?
Inquisitors are cheaper. I think Brother's like 98.
Okay, originally they were more expensive, but yeah.
They came
he's
in
basically
at
Ahsoka price at this point.
Yeah. So I think if you want to play Luke, right, the jury's out on Tauntaun Luke.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see how he plays. I want to get him on the table and see what he's all about. Based on things that I know of, having played Commander Luke and Operative Luke, my preference, my personal choice is going to be Operative Luke. Just for if you're paying for a Jedi, I want to pay for a good quality Jedi that has Master of the Force. You can do some more fun things. I think Commander Luke just kind of lacks that Jedi feel if I'm paying for a Jedi.
Okay. A win for Operative Luke.
Win for Operative Luke.
Well, let's move on to the next one. That's also a bit of a speculative choice right here.
It is.
We got Commander Han versus Hanton.
Commander Han, I mean, we've seen a lot of Han throughout our Legion days. He's one of the oldest units. He's very good. He's got Pierce 2 on his gun. He's rolling red dice, and Gunslinger means especially into red saves. Han loves going into red saves. He's more likely than not going to pick up 4 bodies if he's in position to shoot 2 units. It's reliable, and that's a thing that Rebels don't have a lot of, is like super reliable picking up a lot of units or a lot of minis. Uncanny Luck 3, surprisingly good. It feels so janky, but man,
that with low profile,
yeah,
he is deceptively difficult to remove from the table.
He absolutely is. And steady. You can play peekaboo with Han, and it's easier to keep him safe. I usually slap up close and personal on him. I know when Ryan was on here talking about Rebels, he didn't say it was necessary, but I'm very scared of running Han without up close. Yeah, exactly. Also, it should be mentioned, his command cards, top notch. He has a 0 pip. That one's self-explanatory. That's very good. And then his 3 pip, change of clans. Change of clans.
Clash of Clans.
That if you can anticipate what your opponent wants to do, you can really mess with those plans, and that's very good. Same with his 2 pip, Reckless Diversion. If used well, it can be very effective at keeping things safe or allowing you to maneuver things in a way that you want to.
Now, that's a wash, right? Because all of the Han's command cards can be used by Tauntaun Han as well, right? None of them are restricted
Yes.
to base Han? Okay. It's only
See you in hell.
Tauntaun's cards that are restricted to him.
Yep. It's really only
Not the
the
other
one
way.
pip. Yeah. The
Gotcha.
See You in Hell is specific to Han on a Tauntaun. The 3 pip is Luke and Han, and it is not specific to which version
It's not
of them.
specific. Gotcha.
Yep.
Seems good.
Seems good. On the downside, I mean, it is very low dice pools. I think that is a thing that was good in early Legion. With Pierce 2, as the game has grown, the units are getting bigger, and he really struggles into like super squads, B1s, anything where you have a decent number of minis that you're trying to pick up. He just can't finish off a unit. I mean, he can finish off a unit that's wounded, but he can't do significant damage into full units, which is frustrating. Otherwise, I mean, Courage 2, it's not great.
That's just the Rebel staple, though.
It's the Rebel standard, which is so weird, in my opinion. And then his other downside, I guess, would be his melee attack. He's absolute garbage in melee, so that's like the easy counter to Han is you just go melee him. But operative Luke, we have Han on a Tauntaun coming in. I think the obvious pro is double activating Han after you play
Yeah.
his 1 pip.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
The other big positive is he now has Arsenal 2 instead of Gunslinger. So you can still shoot away at 2 different things if you want. His gun is versatile, so he can shoot out of melee, or you can put all 6 dice into melee, and you can finally just mess up a unit with Han in one activation. And then you can go with him again later in the round and do it again to a different unit with charge. And so far, operative Han, like all I'm seeing, I see a lot of pros. The independent aim 1, dodge 1 is very good. Again, Spur. So he's also Courage 2. So Spur's, the same issue we had with Luke on a Tauntaun. But he keeps his Uncanny Luck 3, and he has charge. So he's just going to be so fast.
Yeah. Pierce 1 instead of 2.
Pierce 1 instead of 2, that's true. He's got to have a downside, but he does still have Ram 1 in his melee attack. So I think he's going to go mess people up. The biggest downside is he's a creature trooper, so he's not going to benefit from cover. He's going to be harder to hide behind line of sight.
Mhm.
And he's just the definition of a glass cannon. He's going to go mess people up, but he's going to die. Whereas I think Commander Han is more likely to make it to the end of the game. He's being a little more crafty, and you're being kind of safe with him with the peekaboo options.
Gotcha. Okay. Do either one of those options really jump out at you as being better? And I guess it's worth mentioning briefly here that the debate on which Han to bring is going to get more difficult in the near-ish future, since we've seen a combined Han Chewie unit that's coming out sometime in the
We're
foreseeable
going to have to
future.
redo this whole episode.
I know. Maybe. That's, Adepticon is next week, so hopefully we find out some more information on that now. But for now, between the two, which are you taking, Eric?
I'm a sucker for new is always better, and so I'm leaning towards operative Han. I mean, double activating so nice. That's just a thing that Rebels don't have access to. Really, only Dark Troopers have it. So like only Empire can do it, and I'm excited that Rebels are going to be able to do that now with a very exciting unit.
Yeah, it's like, he looks more squishy than ever because you're going to find him. But at the same time, like maybe your second activation is just hiding.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks real good. He's going to draw a lot of attention, kind of like Wheelie Greg.
But
People
he's
are
also
gonna
cheaper than regular Han.
Yes, he is cheaper by a little bit. I think you're going to want to
10
put some
points could be
upgrades on him.
significant.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, okay. So a vote for Hanton.
Vote for Hanton.
Our next one's a little bit cheeky since it's only available in Bright Tree Village, but we do have the difference between ATST Chewbacca and Trooper Chewbacca. So if you want to hit those real quick, again, very specific to Bright Tree Village.
It's very specific to Bright Tree. I'll start with ATST Chewie. He is real big. He throws a bunch of dice. It's pretty good. He blocks line of sight. You can hide your Ewoks behind him, run him up the board. He also starts with incognito. So if you don't want to shoot turn one for some reason, sure, nobody can shoot him back. It's great. I mean, unless they get real close, but something silly would have to be happening.
He also has Inspire 3 for some reason.
I mean, Bright Tree needs a lot of Inspire
Yes.
because for some reason they can't remove spending suppression at the end of the round. I don't know why that's a thing, but yeah. So Inspire all around. The big downside for him is he does not have Pierce, like his foot version. I forgot to mention the Leia 2-pip. Sorry, the Chewie 2-pip with ATST Chewie is bonkers good. You just get double rainbow plus Leia's 3 red dice, and that seems real good.
With Sharpshooter 2 and Surge Crit
Sharpshooter 2, and Leia doesn't have any Pierce anymore, so there's no Pierce.
But Surge Crit, Sharpshooter 2, Impact 3, so...
something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Very good. Operative Chewie, he has Pierce. That's a big plus. He's got Impact 1, Pierce 1 on his gun. It's a pretty solid gun platform. He's Surge Crit. He can Guardian, which is nice. You keep other units alive. I think everyone's kind of seen a lot of Chewie, so we know the downside is also Guardian, in my opinion. You use his best ability to keep other things alive, but that means you're killing Chewie. And he's got 9 non-surging white saves, and he dies. So my personal choice, if you're running Bright Tree, ATST Chewie every day of the week.
Okay, nice and easy. Well, let's round out Rebels and hit that elephant in the room then. We got Cassian, the operative, versus Cassian, the unit card.
My beloved. We can start with Operative Cassian. I have been such a big fan of Operative Cassian for as long as he's been in the game. I think a big pro, you can bring K2. I love me a sarcastic droid who's going to go crit fishing for 5 crits when you spool him up with aims.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can I like K2 also for getting that extra operative token. So I've toyed around with a Cassian K2 Hanton list, like in my head. You can get up to 4 operative tokens. You don't want to be issuing any of them orders, but you should be able to reliably pull them when you want to with that. His command cards, Cassian's command cards, pair pretty well with other heroes. You can give free recovers out to someone like Ahsoka or Commander Luke, or even Operative Luke, somebody who wants a recover or could benefit from it. His 2-pip is also really good if somebody's been injured. You just start dishing out all kinds of free tokens with that 2-pip. Paired with K2, everyone gets tokens. It's very fun. And then Infinite Sniper, still good. It still has its place in the game. It's a little more niche than it used to be, obviously, but, it's nice to be able to shoot across the board when you see that one unit leader just trying to run away, do objective things. You can just snipe him off the board. Downside for me on Cassian as an operative, the main thing is, I think right now, the opportunity cost of not taking the best unit or upgrade in the faction right now, because upgrade Cassian is very good. Operative Cassian, he doesn't have any glaring negatives, I don't think. His gun isn't super great when he's got
just
3 dice.
Average.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
his
gonna go play
gun
some things. Yeah. He's a scalpel. He's got to go in. He's not going to go do a bunch of damage for you. So he's a kind of a difficult piece to play well. The upgrade is just incredible. I've seen people put the Cassian upgrade in Rebel Troopers. I know at one point Lila was playing around with him in Vets, which was interesting. Yeah. I don't think that went particularly well. I haven't heard much about it since. But I think most people are putting him in fleets. And the amazing attrition protection you get from having Cassian in that squad, it's just so good. In a super squad of fleets, you have a chance at getting a victory point with Secret Mission. It's always nice to get victory points. I heard that wins you games. And I mean, he's real good. He adds red dice to an otherwise unreliable pool of 100 white dice in the super fleets and gets a little more consistency there. You pair him with the shotgun. I don't know. Everyone knows Super Cassian is good.
Yeah. Even when you're down to just Cassian and the shotgun left, it's still, 4 red, 9 white with Pierce 1?
That's so good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's so good. You've taken 9 wounds at that point, and you are still
really
throwing 13 dice. That's nobody else in the game can compete with that. I don't think.
Not for having taken that many wounds.
Yeah.
No. Okay. What about the cons? Any cons on Mr. Cassian upgrade?
Sometimes it's, I guess, hard to decide when you should flip the card. If you really want Secret Mission, it's you don't get the good dice until you flip the card. So you might be throwing black dice for a little bit if you're really trying to get Secret Mission. It's not really a con. He's still providing really good value no matter what. I don't think
there are any downsides.
No, there's really not. He's It's not too expensive for what you get. It's Value Town all the way.
There's a reason he's in every Rebel list right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess the question becomes, which one do you choose?
Yeah, I think personal choice.
Wait, here's a con.
Okay,
You
let's hear
can't
it.
bring K2.
That's true.
And K2's actually, I think he's pretty good.
K2 is amazing. I love the incognito, like, standby stuff you can do. His gun is great. If you get some aim support, he's got a suppressive Pierce 1 gun that you can usually find, like, 3
Surge's to
crits.
crit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great piece. So that is actually probably the main downside is you can't bring K2. Not yet. He's going to be an upgrade soon, I'm sure.
Sure. We'll wait and see.
I think if I had to choose personal choice, it would probably be the upgrade. Just even though I am a huge K2 fan, I can't pass up that upgrade. It's too good.
I do hope we end up seeing more of these character upgrades. They've been really fun. So
They are fun.
AMG,
Yeah.
if you're listening to us, make
Plo
more
Koon
of those.
squad leader win.
Moving on. Where are we going next?
Let's
we're going to
go
Empire.
Empire.
Great.
That's you, Richard, right? You've played the Empire, I hear.
That's me. I've been playing a lot of Empire lately. So let's talk Vader first, right?
Uh-huh.
The big one for Empire, Commander versus Operative. So Commander, your pros are printed on the card. It's Infinite Courage. Compel, you've got more offensive dice by 1 red die. You've got more health by 1. You've got more force slots by 1. And you have a command slot, which is great for throwing Inspiring Presence to have that range 4 courage bubble that's just infinite. Panicking who? Not Vader's army. The cons, he is slower. Speed 1 versus Speed 2 is a pretty significant difference. Yes, both versions of Vader have Relentless, but after using Burst of Speed, which most Jedi and Force users are still bringing, Commander Vader's speed is 0, which is a problem, and you have to plan around that. Again, especially since he doesn't have a native ranged attack, which is the next con. If you want him to be performing range attacks, you need Saber Throw, which is taking up one of those 4 slots. And it's more points on an already expensive unit. Commander Vader also has no training slots, which I think is a relatively big deal. I love the training slot, especially for characters. So having none feels a little bad, but if you could put 10 nasty on him and he's 7 red dice, that would be a problem. So it's understandable. He also has no way to really gain a surge value unless you're playing Darkness Descends for the surge tokens, which is completely fine. But you also kind of want to do that turn 1, and then A, you're playing a 3 pip, and B, you're only putting out 1 order. Which if you've listened to our order token episode, are 2 things we don't like. But here we are. So the flip side, the Operative, pros, he's faster. He gains surge to crit versus Force users because of Jedi Hunter. He does have a native ranged attack, which also has Scatter on it, which is incredible. Scatter is a very strong keyword that we don't see on a lot of units. And so it's kind of unique within Empire to be able to get that Scatter there. He has training slots, which I just talked about being one of my favorite upgrade slots for characters in the game. He still has 2 Force slots and Master of the Force 1, so you're not really losing too much, especially since Commander Vader's usually taking Saber Throw as one of those slots. It's basically keeping him on the same level as the Commander version. The cons, the biggest one is he picks up an actual Courage value. Yes, it's Courage 3, but the difference between Courage 3 and Courage...
worry about suppression.
I know. The difference between Courage 3 and Courage Infinite is just massive. Suppressing Vader is a very big deal with a bunch of suppressive weapons floating around the meta right now, and the ability to just like very cheaply get suppression on targets with like beam weapons if you're facing 212 or something like that. It's something you have to start really considering with Vader. He also has less offensive dice to start. If you're not running Tenacity on him, I think you're probably playing him wrong. He can get up to those 6 red dice pretty easily, but then, you know, he has to be wounded to be able to do so. And he also starts with less wounds. You know, he's 7 versus 8. He loses out on the support elements too that make Commander Vader pretty good. He loses that command slot. He loses Compel. Kind of an interesting trade, but it makes sense. This is more Vader in like his Rogue One days versus his kind of New Hope style days.
Dare you talk about Rogue One right after I talk about Cassian?
I thought it was thematic time.
Bad taste.
My
Richard.
bad.
Bad taste.
Whoops. Yeah. So if we're talking personal preference here, right? I love the Operative. I think that's a pretty pretty all-round favored opinion unless you're in the UK where they favor Commander
Yeah,
Vader. That's
I
going
don't
to be an
get that.
interesting conversation at Adepticon this year. Like I said, the training slots do a lot for the character. The scatter weapon, I think, is a really massive deal. The command card the command weaknesses can be fixed with other units within your army. Empire's about to get a slew of commanders that have just absolutely fantastic command abilities, and so you don't really need Vader filling that role as well. And the speed is a really big deal. We talked about the post burst of speed, but also just speed 2 versus speed 1 in your kind of everyday turn is significant, especially with how mobile the game is kind of forcing us into with how it is right now and with how these new objectives are about to be changing it.
Have we talked on this podcast about why scatter is such a big deal for Vader? Like, can you tell people about how you use it? Because you've done it to me, and I didn't appreciate it.
Well, when's this episode coming out, Eric? Wink, wink for Adepticon. But yeah, so scatter.
That's true. If you don't want to give away your secrets,
I don't actually care that much. It's just making a big deal. So scatter lets you recohere enemy units, and so you can do a lot of fun things, especially if you are like infiltrating Vader in, or you're on a deployment that lets you get in kind of close pretty fast, where if you double move Vader, throw that rock, recohere enemy units, you can usually force choke them then. So that's just wounds that you're piling on either turn 1 or late turn 1 or early turn 2. It also pulls units out of cover. There's a lot of super squads in the game right now, so you get to recohere those at range 1 and just basically put entire units into the open for the rest of your army to be shooting them. It's incredibly strong. Like, I cannot stress that enough.
yeah.
The scatter keyword is one that is not on a lot of units, and it's not on a lot of units for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
So,
borderline
it
the
really is.
only reason you take a lat.
Oh, for bunker buster shells? No, we're not getting into the lat debate now, Dan. Yes, bunker buster shells is the way to do it. Dooku also has scatter, I believe, just on his lightning. I would have to double check that, but
yeah, there's nothing that feels as bad as having your like double stuff squad just thrown out into the open. And it's not even that you're not out of cover. It's that like anybody can find you now. And you're just like, that squad's basically done.
yeah, it's
You're still
very
a
strong.
super squad. You play clone,
Fair.
so you're a super squad with red saves. You're not
You
necessarily done, but
Fair, but
no,
yeah.
but you now have to go with that unit to
right.
kind of fix the problem really
Mhm.
quickly.
Your grits are cooked.
Yeah, it's not great. That also helps bring units closer to Vader,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can take other actions. Maybe you aim before you go in, maybe you dodge before you go in, maybe you go in, kill a unit, and then keep moving. Like, you suddenly have a lot more options because you've placed the enemy unit where you want them to be. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I like it.
Excellent. What else you got in Empire?
The only other thing we got in Empire, I guess currently, fingers crossed for the future, but it's Kallus, the operative versus the upgrade. So let's talk operative. The pros, he's got really great keywords. He's got direct core unit, bounty, free action observe 2, charge, immune melee pierce. All of that's great. He's got a decent weapon. It's got lethal on it, so there's some pierce options attached to that. He's cheap. He's 70 points.
Mm-hmm.
That is extremely affordable in today's character economy. His command cards are decent, but not outstanding. I guess count it as a pro because options are always better than no options. He's got some really good versatile upgrade slots. You can really kind of customize him and push him in a direction that you're looking for. And he pairs really well with other units, especially other bounty hunters. You don't have to take Underworld Connections to have Bounty 2 anymore, which is really good. The cons, he's lower courage, and I can already feel it that me saying courage 2 being lower courage is going to get me in trouble here, but, here we are.
Courage
He's
2's
also
not that good. Like,
I know.
that's why I'm baffled that Rebels are Courage 2. It's not very good.
Yeah, he's also 5 health. 5 health red saves, but he doesn't have immune pierce at range, so he's very susceptible to ranged pierce. I was playing Operative Kallus a lot, and the amount of times he was shot off the board, like early 2 to mid turn 2, was more than I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
which was a problem.
Skill issue.
Honestly, probably. The upgrade version, on the other hand, it gives +1 courage to whatever unit it's attached to. So Death Troopers become courage 3, Riot Troopers become courage 2, which is a massive deal.
Just great that he can so easily get units to Courage 3 when he himself is not Courage 3 as an operative.
You know, it is what it is.
It's totally fine.
When he is added to unit, he's got decent dice. 2 black and a white is a pretty decent heavy weapon. The other thing is he gives you an additional heavy weapon slot, so you're not really losing any opportunity cost by taking him in that slot. He's got a absolutely fantastic free action immobilize 2. Yes, please, every day of the week. Whatever you charge into with your Riot Control Squad is now stuck with Riot Control Squad. You are not leaving. And he's got Demoralize 1. Demoralize 1 sometimes really, really matters. Other times it basically useless and you forget it and it doesn't matter. But sometimes, especially if your opponent has standbys, it's incredible. His price is both a pro and a con. 28 is not bad compared to these 4 character upgrades we have. It's middle of the pack on the low side. The flip side, it's 28 points for it's okay. Like, it's definitely no Cassian, right? You don't get any command cards because the upgrade versions aren't allowed to take command cards. It is only 1 health, and none of his weapon keywords really matter on this. So he's not really adding like Pierce or Immobilize or anything really fun there. He just is what he is.
Fair. I know you mentioned him in Riots. Does that mean you don't subscribe to the Adam philosophy of putting him in Death Troopers?
I have not had a chance to try it yet. I think our dear friend Adam is cooking with something there. Because it ends up being like the range 2 shot ends up being something like 14 dice. I want to say it's like 2 red, 2 black, 10 white, usually with an aim. That's pretty good.
Deaths already have like hold the line because they already
because
surge.
they surge on defense. You know, Death Troopers have their own issues with, you know, not being impervious for some reason. Yeah, I think it's good.
God, if they were impervious, I would cry tears.
Dude, Death Troopers would be so good. But you have Mandalorians, you're fine. No,
Not
I
the
love
same.
him on Riots. I do think he's usable on Snow Troopers and Death Troopers. There's a Snow Trooper build where you take him, a Flamethrower, Imperial March, and you could double stuff it if you want to. But basically you can burn Imperial March for charge, and the Flamethrower works in melee. So
Burn and burn.
just surprise charging Snow Troopers is not necessarily a bad idea. But yeah, if it's not clear, I lean towards preferring the upgrade over the operative. I do think it really depends on the list. Operative Callus is just so ridiculously cheap to help with like activation padding. He's also fantastic for those double bounty lists because you don't need underworld connections, and really supports the army well and like pairs with a bunch of other characters really well. But upgrade Callus
Direct is so good.
Direct.
I've learned really about this now now that I've played some clone games.
Now that you're playing clones, yeah.
Direct.
It is really, really good. I just really have liked Callus on Riot Control. That is a staple unit that's in pretty much every one of my armies at this point. And the ability to make them Courage 2 is life-altering for the Riot Troopers. And it keeps the unit sub 100 points with the KX droids and Imperial March. And that's just really good value in my opinion.
So good for that price point. I do feel like out of all the squad leader upgrade options we're going to talk about today, I feel like Callus probably has the best balance, as in I can see taking either version. You know, Cassian is squad upgrade.
Yeah.
It's just the better version right now. But Callus, like, you know, there's a real conversation to be had there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it leans towards the squad upgrade, but
it really does depend on what list you're building.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's the most balanced in that sense.
Well, we've finished Empire. Hopefully just for now, but we'll see. Dan, we're going to toss it over to you. Take us through Republic. Well, you and Eric. Eric's been playing a lot of Republic, but we'll...
And you, Richard, you also.
I
well, you
do,
don't play
but I haven't played.
You own it. Anyways, let's talk about
I was playing
Rex
it at
first.
Rocky Top. Excuse yourself.
Rex, so if you take him as a commander, the reasons you'd want to take him is that he brings scouting party. That's probably one of the biggest reasons. You know, there's a lot of units that would love to have scout, a Bad Batch, Yoda, your big
Preach.
squads. Yep. And, you know, he's bringing, you know, scout 1 costs 8 points, scouting party, that's like a value of 24. And it's a big deal on units that don't have the gear upgrade like Bad Batch. He's also got decent command cards. His 2 pips pretty fun. You know, the ability to stretch your weapons to range 4 is pretty good. Take a Z6 to range 4. You can take marksman out to range 5 when you combo it with long shot. You know, it's a great opening card for the game. It's a great round 2 or round 3 kind of card. You can take Bad Batch to range 3, take your shotguns to range 3. It's really good. He's got a decent
do
one
think,
pip.
like-
Go ahead.
So I have that card in my command hand. I have not yet played it with my like 10 games of Republic that I've played. I
Who's
just
your other
don't find
commander?
it's Yoda.
There you
So
go.
like yeah, but like having to take an aim action just hurts my soul. Like who's out here taking an aim action these days? I want my free tokens.
Empire
And-
takes affront to that, but whatever.
Well, that's
Yeah,
fine for Empire.
it could be worse. It could be much better. It could be much better because it was much worse. It used to be oppressive
Where if you just had a name token.
back
Yeah.
when arcs used to shoot at range 4 because they used to be natively ranged. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
He's got a 1 pip. His 1 pip's pretty decent. It's kind of a sleeper. It's not always the best option, but it has won me big games before.
Yeah.
You know, he can shoot into melee and he can shoot out of melee. So even if you come and tag him, he can still contribute to whatever's going on around him. It can be great for stopping, you know, charging Ewoks, charging Wookiees. You know, here comes your super expensive Mace Windu. Cool. I'll just throw extra dice into that melee. It's really good. And, you know, Rex himself as a body is not bad. You know, tactical's great on a commander. He can kind of just be up there sticking with the squads, doing what he needs to do, giving those aims out. And he's got a decent attack pool. I mean, Gunslinger with 2 red. It doesn't have Pierce,
3
but
red.
sorry, 3 red. My bad. Oh, conflating it with the next with the squad upgrade. You know, it's not bad. The downside is that he's only 5 health. Yes, he's red saves, but he's not impervious. And so if you just kind of look at him with a Pierce weapon, he gets real weak in the knees. It's bad news for him. Like, you know, he get one shot by Black Suns, get one shot by Cassian Fleets. And the bad part is he's got a range 2 gun. So if he's up there shooting, he's going to get shot back. And if you're at range 2 fighting, you aren't going, it's not like Cody where I'm going to stick in the back line and if you shoot at me, I'll have backup. Like if I'm at range 2, chances are you are at range 2 and I'm not getting backup.
Yeah.
So Rex is not bad. I like him. He's fun.
Up close and personal, though, generating 2 dodge tokens for clone sharing.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I
Not
would
bad.
really
Okay.
like if Rex had steady. I think that would make him money.
Preach. Yeah.
You just got to give him some kind of action economy there and let him
Like,
get in
yeah, I could
cover.
take up
Yeah.
close and personal and double tap. You know what
Yeah.
that means? There's 2 enemies in range 2 of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably won't survive those shots. Anyways, moving on to the squad leader. So the squad leader adds 2 red dice to the attack pool. They're only at range 1 to 2. And with these 2 red dice, you also get a slew. It's like a mini paragraph on the card here. All right, so you gain a courage. So you can go up to courage 3, whatever squad you put it on. You gain a training slot and you gain a command slot. And then when this unit defeats an enemy unit with attack, after the attack action is resolved, you gain 1 free action. You get this little dilemma where if you can manage to kill something, you'll get another action. And once you start going down that decision tree, like, man, it can really fork and branch out in a bunch of different ways, like all the different things you can do. You can jump out and shoot somebody and hide again, or you can jump out, kill them, and take their box, or flip one of these new flippable tokens we're seeing in all these new
the new
objectives.
objectives have a lot of objective actions on them.
Yeah.
So I think Rex plays into that as an upgrade.
You know, 2 red dice at range 2 is pretty good. And he adds in, you know, you always take him with a shotgun. So it's always 4 red, even if it's just him and a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
And unlike a lot of the other squad leaders, he doesn't have sidearm. So he can shoot at range 3, only a single black die, but he can shoot at range 3 if he needs to. You get a second training upgrade. I'm not sure if you're taking a first one, but you could. You know, you could have Into the Fray and Tenacity, or Offensive Push and Tenacity.
Well,
And
offensive push, if you take like a free recover action after you kill a unit, you
Mm-hmm.
basically have a free aim token every turn.
If you pair that with a Specialist, you can
Yeah.
move and pop 2 aims at once.
Right?
And then kill something, and then recover and get Specialist, Offensive Push, and E-Stims back, and just be. Anyways,
Zombie unit,
or even
great.
put improvised orders on him. You can get
Yeah.
a second free.
and I do
Does-
think that's one of the most interesting things about this unit is that we have a command slot on a core.
Mhm.
So if we ever get a decent field commander, there's something to think
Ayla
about
Secura
there.
not doing
Yeah.
it?
I can take somebody else as a pilot of the tank. Do you know who that pilot might be, Richard? I wonder
It's
who
Plo
it could be.
Koon. Yeah.
Oh,
You
there
walked
he is,
right
baby.
into it,
There
Richard.
he
Yeah.
is.
I did. I should have gone with was it Clone Commander Fox on the lat?
Yeah. No, nobody goes with that. Anyways, the cons, the downsides, it's not good. It's 38 points, which is really expensive.
Yeah.
And it's all about this conditional probability of I get a kill. And what you find is you get in these weird spots where I'm letting somebody else shoot the unit first so that then I can guarantee I have the kill, and in which case I'm like overcommitting resources to kill something so I can get a free action, and that action isn't always as meaningful as I think it might be.
Right.
And, in a weird way, if you want to think about it, every unit gets 10 actions per game. So if you get a kill, you're getting an extra action, which is like, 10% more efficiency than you had before. The problem is at 38 points, you're paying like way more than 10% of your unit cost to increase your efficiency by 10%. I mean,
But if you trigger it like 3 or 4 times, that 10% turns into 30 or 40%.
that is true. Having
Math.
played it, it's tough to even trigger it twice.
Really
Yes.
interesting.
I'd be
It's
curious.
tough.
I know you probably shared your list at some point, but I would want to take another look at it because I'd be like, I was playing
Yeah.
around with it today and had ideas. But yeah, you are like designing a list around that concept, kind of. Granted, if you take like push and a specialist, you should be able to delete something that's like 5 health or less, hopefully, maybe. But yeah.
I think probably the worst thing though is he doesn't compare well against the other squad leaders
Mhm.
in the factions like Ahsoka and Fives, the other unique ones, because he doesn't have charge. So
Mhm.
if you have Fives and a shotgun left, you're still throwing 5 dice with charge. And if you have just Ahsoka and a shotgun left, you're throwing a lot of dice and you have charge. If you just have Rex left, even with the shotgun, you're not going to get that kill. And you're not going to get that free extra action. And he's not really doing anything for you. And he's only 1 health.
He's 2 health.
Yeah, he's 2 health.
You're right. He's 2 health.
Whew.
Anyways.
All right. You want to redo
The-
your whole
The
notes? And
only one of those that is 2 health.
No, Fives is 2 health.
I meant of the character upgrades that we get right now.
Anyways. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So anyways,
Clone's just special.
he's an upgrade that asks you to spend more. Like, here's an extra training, here's an extra command. Why don't you figure out a way to get more kills and spend a bunch of points to figure out how you're going to best maximize that extra action? And you kind of get in this point, like, So,
feel like so my initial thought was pair him with like maybe 2 ISPs with beams or something, and if you just go around plinking as many units as you can all the time, in theory, you should be able to find some
in
trash
theory,
that
you
needs
could
to be
split
cleaned up.
fire 3 ways and get 3 kills and get 3 free actions. And there'd be like, I don't even know if you could use that 5th action, but
Well, no, hold
I
on
think
there.
you can
It's
only get
after
1
the
free action
Yeah.
per activation.
well,
when
it's
this unit defeats an enemy unit with an attack.
after
if
the
you win-
attack action is resolved.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
You have to resolve
But if
all
they
dice
kill
pools.
something off of like a standby that is
Yep.
guidance
Then you could
onto
take,
them,
you
then
could try and
can
take
get
like comm specialist, or you could try and
Yeah.
guidance them with a Jedi, but it's
Or
just too
Yoda.
expensive. And again, like, all right, cool, I'm bringing a 38-point unit, or 38-point upgrade. Allow me to bring 150 points to that. Or allow me to bring comm specialist for another 30 points. Like,
the comm
just-
specialist does seem overpriced.
it's an
Bas-
expensive
Yeah.
upgrade,
Yeah.
and it's asking you to spend more. It's just... So anyways, Commander Rex, better.
Great. Nice.
TLDR, there we go.
Nice and easy there. Take us to part 2 then,
All
which
right.
is, I think, your favorite unit.
Yes. Until Plo Koon drops,
Plo
it's
Koon
Ahsoka.
drops, yeah.
Commander
reset the clock.
Ahsoka.
We get it.
Commander Ahsoka. She's really fun. Scout 1, Speed 3, Independent Recover. She has a mastery that doesn't really do anything. But Jump
What do you
2.
mean it doesn't do anything?
That's crazy.
It's
Okay.
old deflect. You can do so many wounds.
I've been playing Ahsoka in 90% of my Republic lists since she dropped. It's done more than 1 wound less than 5 times.
No way. You need
Wait,
worse
That
dice.
feels wrong.
Now, to be fair, I
Stop
don't let people
rolling
shoot
natural
her.
blocks.
I don't let people shoot her. But
Okay, well, yeah, then that's your own problem.
So your sample size is small, is what you're saying.
I guess.
Regardless. Anyway,
Anyways,
Shan Mastering
she's-
may be good.
yeah, she is. And here's the reason I think she's the best unit in this, or my favorite unit in this faction right now. She does something at her price point that nobody else is doing in the faction currently. And I take her with offensive push and saber throw. She's like a diet Jedi. She's really fast. You can put her wherever you need. She's healthy enough to take 1 or 2 hits, even from a big unit. She doesn't typically go down in a 1 shot, even by a double stuff squad, because I mean, she's 5 health, Red saves, so you're going to have to find 10 hits before she dies. And, she can't take on and kill Vader. Thematically and realistically, the only things she could probably kill would be an Inquisitor or Maul. But she can do so much for that price point, and she's so fun, especially with the saber throw. She's got a decent,
She throws a lot of dice.
yeah, 8 dice is pretty good. It's not often, but it has happened a number of times where I found all 8 hits, and it really slaps.
Yeah.
She's got a decent command hand. Her 1-pip's really fun, especially if you have saber throw in there. You can just like put the final wound onto a tank or something like that, and then go charge into something else. She's got a decent 2-pip that's actually a 4-pip that I tend to just play as a round 1 card, and then she's also got a 3-pip. I've honestly rarely used it, but she's got a decent command hand.
The 3-pip is the one where she gets
Free
Jarkai?
speed, 3 move. Yeah, no, that's the 4-pip.
Oh,
The
that's
3-pip
okay.
is the free speed, 3
Oh,
move.
free speed 3, then
Getting Guardian beat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I always think to myself, like, I'll find a time to use this and I'll disengage from somebody gnarly. And then I just realize, why would I put her into something gnarly? Just play it safe. Anyways, the downsides, probably the biggest downside, is that you don't get to take her as a squad leader. And the second downside, which apparently to some of you is not a downside, is that Shinedown Mastery does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. So
You've
comparatively,
been pronouncing it wrong. I think it's Shien Mastery.
oh,
Does that change your opinion at all?
no, it doesn't.
Great.
So she also has a squad leader option. So squad leader option is clone trooper. So it can be either, unlike Rex, it can be core or special forces.
Mm-hmm.
So she's leader. She has a lightsaber. She can't use anybody's weapons but her own. She's got a decent dice pool. She's got independent dodge. She gains block. She brings charge. I mean, critical 1, impact 2, pierce 1. Like it's almost like her lightsaber just ported over it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Anybody you can take her on currently has red saves. So anybody you take her on has block. If you take her on arcs with impervious, suddenly you're Mandalorians for a round.
Well, and with clone token sharing, that block becomes even better
Yeah.
because you can steal other dodges to give yourself surge as long as there's a
Mhm.
dodge floating.
Yeah, and I typically take her with prepared supplies just so I can spend
another
the
one.
dodge. Yeah, spend
Makes
my
sense.
she's really good. There's really nothing more to say there. I mean, you take her on arcs, you take her on double stuff squads, you take her with a shotgun, you have Pierce 2. So, the downsides for Commander Ahsoka. Sorry, not Commander Ahsoka. There's no downsides for Commander Ahsoka. The downsides for Squad Leader Ahsoka is that she only has 1 health, unlike Rex and Fives. She doesn't have any kind of ranged attack, and she's 35 points, so she's expensive. So if you can't get a charge off, you still got a clone squad shooting usually with a shotgun. So it doesn't feel bad, but at the same time it feels bad because here's my 35-point upgrade. It's not doing anything for me this round other than bringing me a dodge. She also has independent, which means she's not necessarily just plug and play. You've got to think about how you're building your list. If you're putting her in arcs, you probably got to run 5 first so you can have enough special forces tokens to get her when you need her. Or if you're running her in core, it's not plug and play unlike, Callus or something like that, where you just drop them into any place, or Cassian. Anyways, and this is maybe just my own anecdotal note, but whenever I take her, because folks hate her, she just draws so much aggro, I never get to do anything with her.
I
So it's
have
like,
so rarely lost by Ahsoka squad,
okay,
but I also have as many threats in my list as I can. Like, you've got Bad Batch and Yoda and a 5 squad and Delta squad. Like, Ahsoka's just icing on top. She's going in and messing people up after everyone else kind of starts fighting.
and if you don't take her in arcs, Pierce, and this isn't a real complaint, but Pierce really chews her up, and Pierce chews everybody up.
yeah.
But when you have that expensive squad to suddenly get Pierce, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, but I had block.
Mhm.
It feels bad. It feels
does.
bad. So you already know which my preference is. So I'll let you guys. You also both send me.
I want to
Republic,
put
so.
Commander Ahsoka on the table sometime to try her out and see what you're so high on, but I do really love Upgrade Ahsoka. So
Same.
she's great.
When I play clones, because I do play clones, I don't leave home without that Commander Ahsoka upgrade somewhere within my army, whether it's arcs or whether it's a shotgun squad of clones is, 50-50 either one. I've just gotten such massive use out of both of those. It's really good. Turns out when you take Ahsoka, a specialist, a shotgun in a squad and you drop it out of a lat and you can potentially be charging targets turn 1,
Mm-hmm.
that does a lot of really good damage. So I think, now granted, I had incredible dice, but I almost one-shot an AAT with that.
What?
So listen,
Okay.
He
Impact
almost
2.
just one-shot the best piece of armor in the game.
Well,
Like,
it was
what?
Impact 2 plus Impact Grenades, so Impact 6. Critical 1. And then you're rolling enough dice that you have almost
Find one or two
you
naturally?
expect
Okay.
one crit, and then
And
you have
then-
an aim.
And then the AAT just probably rolled like what? Almost only a third of its saves instead of half.
It did not roll the best of saves. So
Clearly.
Clearly.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Well, the most important one, Dan. Take us
Yeah.
through the last
I'll
Republic.
be honest. I forgot this was even an option until I looked at our notes, and I was like, "What?" Echo. Echo
Technically
can be
counts
taken
with our
as
list.
a squad leader. I think about it so often that
Heavy
I forgot
weapon.
it exists.
Yeah, it's a heavy. It's not a squad leader.
It's not even a
Correct.
squad leader.
Is a heavy weapon with the leader upgrade.
Yes.
So, which
Makes
speaking of
sense.
which,
Legally distinct.
yeah. Speaking of which, is a pro and a con.
Mm-hmm.
It's not taking the squad leader. Well, no, it's not taking the squad leader slot. So you can take other squad leaders that are in the squad leader slot that are not leaders, aka the medic.
Just a medic.
Just the medic. So you could take that. But because it takes the heavy weapon slot, you aren't going to be throwing, and you can take Echo in any clone trooper unit. So this can be infantry, this can be marksmen, this can be ARFs, this can be ARCs, and ARC strike teams. So you're not going to get double sniper rifles. You're not going to get sniper rifle mortar. You're not going to get sniper rifle rocket launcher. You're not going to get sniper rifle shotgun. So that is honestly probably one of the biggest
Downsides, yeah.
It would just be better if you were a squad leader. I understand why they haven't. At the same time, he's so expensive. Like, you wouldn't really be breaking the game if you allowed me to take a shotgun alongside him, because that's his biggest downside, is that he
46
costs
points.
46 points. And I'm not here to complain. Well, no, I am here to complain. But I'm not here to rant about this too much. I don't understand why he costs that much. He has 2 wounds. His rifle has critical 1, lethal 1, immune deflect, and he himself has reliable. And reliable is valuable. But you know what its cost is worth? It's really right around 22. Because if you take a clone commander, you've got reliable 1, and you've also got Inspire. And Inspire, I mean, kind of forgetting off the top of my head here how much Inspire 2 costs on another commander. But
8 points.
8 points. There we go. 22. So I was right. Although it's Inspire 1. So he's really more like 26 points. Anyways, it's way too much for this guy.
Don't check his notes on the math there.
Yeah,
Don't check.
it's questionable math at best.
That's excellent math. Anyways, yeah.
Where else can
downsides
you
is
take
that-
Echo?
Oh, I see
What's
what you're
the other
saying.
option?
What's the other option? I was like,
It's
I
called a
missed another option.
segue.
It's called a segue into Bad Batch because Echo as a sniper is bad, and so if you put a batch of all of them together, it's actually pretty good. Now that's a segue. So Bad Batch,
Look, it is a
pretty good.
segue. It's a continuation.
It's a dangling apostrophe. Anyways, everything about Bad Batch is pretty well known. They move, they shoot. Hunter throws a knife. You know, it's a pretty one-dimensional unit, but what they do is very good. I mean, they're kind of like, they're almost an Anakin level piece. Like, what does Anakin do? He blenders things. What does Bad Batch do? They blender things. So, I think rather obviously Bad Batch is better than Echo
All in
by
favor
himself.
say aye.
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 All right, Richard, take us away. I could get here. I could be all day complaining about.
Yeah, we got 2 upgrades left. Let's hit Kraken first, because I think this is a relatively quick conversation. There's a Kraken upgrade and a Kraken commander for Separatists. The commander, he's got support abilities, technically, Exemplar and Override, and Strategize 1. Those are fine. Override right
Fine.
now doesn't really matter. Well, so Override doesn't really matter for droids because AI doesn't really do anything.
Fair.
Exemplar is good, but he doesn't generate tokens like Kalani does. He has Strategize 1 and he can take a token. But then he's not moving to be where he needs to be, so he generates a single aim and dodge. That's fine.
It's fine.
He's got decent melee and charge of 4 red, lethal 1. That's, again, fine. He's got pierce options. Like I said, lethal on both his ranged weapon and his melee weapon. He does surge crit. Sure. That's not bad. Cons, he is absolutely the worst of all of the super attack options you have access to right now. Kalani and either of the custom ones are just leagues better. He takes up a commander slot in your force organization, and you just have about 1 million other better commanders. He doesn't add a lot of value overall to your army, which is unfortunate because he used to be one of my
Very good.
favorite CIS commanders.
Yeah, Override used to mean a lot.
Yeah. It back in the day when I was playing CIS consistently, he was my go-to, but we're not there
And
anymore.
2 command slots I felt like used to mean more than it does now. Right now, the command slot's just the improvised order slot.
That's because aggressive tactics used to exist.
Still,
Yeah, well,
You take that and one other command upgrade.
yeah. For the upgrade version, the pros are upgrading dice is really good, especially in B1s that are double stuffed. The cons, you lose AI, which right now with how the customs are working, AI is a positive keyword, not a negative keyword. So losing AI is actually really painful compared to actually helping you. His cost is extremely prohibitive as well. I believe, I should have had this up. I was too busy looking at Rex.
30 points.
Is it 30 points? Yeah, that's too much. That's too much for what he's doing. He does add like the command or the heavy weapon slot still, so you can take him and a regular heavy weapon, but it's just you get really limited value from him. You can really only take him in B1s or B2s. For his entire kit to work, you need to be taking wounds, which requires the opponent to be shooting that unit or attacking that unit in general, which they could just ignore. And then it's just a double stuffed unit of B1s. If you're taking it in B2s, maybe it's a little bit better, but you're not really upgrading a lot of dice because B2 models take a lot longer to attrition. Yes, you're then upgrading black dice to red dice, which could be really good, but you're doing that for 1 die for every 2 wounds the unit takes. Not the best ratio that you're trading. As for personal preference, and we're going to keep this short, neither. Leave Kraken at home. What are you doing? Stop taking Kraken.
Stop hurting yourself.
I guess maybe if you're trying to do something extremely specific and it's niche and it's not a competitive event or something, go for it. Otherwise, you can get a lot more use out of those points elsewhere. So go use those points where they're better spent.
So we talked about all the squad leader upgrades. It's like 28 is the sweet spot.
28 is a sweet spot.
That's Callus. That's Cassian. If you go north of that,
Cassian's
30,
cheaper than 28, buddy.
Okay, he's 26.
I think he's 25, isn't he?
What on earth? Why is he so cheap? Anyways, you go a little bit north of 28, and it's like, oh, that's Kraken. And then you go like to the Arctic Circle, and you've got Rex out there on his own doing heaven knows what.
Free actions. That's what.
Free actions.
We just covered this.
Because if you really steer into it, you could theoretically...
If I spend 38, and then I spend another, and then I spend another...
AMG's reasoning, I'm assuming, is because if you you could theoretically get it to trigger probably like twice rounds 2 through 5 if you really, really tried with guidance and standbys and stuff. Like you could maybe get it to trigger twice those 4 rounds. That's 8 free actions. That would be bananas. Like the whole concept behind pricing is characters, they've been bringing them down because you can't spam them. They're unique. And that's like spamming free actions, which is, that would be too powerful. So I get why it's 38 points. I think it can come down some, but I get why they started aggressively with that point cost.
I would agree.
So how is it then that they price units that just add dice back every time you lose a model?
At 30.
Don't ask me about how they price Cassian.
What do they price a free victory point at? Right around the 25 point margin?
To be fair, when we were given that, Rebels were struggling.
Yeah. That is the only thing. It's one of the few things keeping Rebels afloat right now, I think, is
it hit Rebels sales and they are soaring on that. I think it also broke up how Rebels were thinking about list building as well, which opened the doors to new combinations that people weren't willing to try that are actually fairly successful.
There you have it.
Yeah, let's finish this conversation on a bit of a bang, right? General Grievous. Both commanders, but one's on foot and one's on a wheel bike. So let's talk about Foot Grievous. Relentless, great keyword, and he's got decent weapons to be able to use, whether melee or range. He's a trooper, so he can benefit from backup. He can also benefit from Guardian. He has Entourage Magna Guard, which is never a bad thing. He's bulky, 8 health, full immune pierce, whether ranged or melee. Absolutely fantastic. The command cards for Grievous, I believe all 6 can be taken no matter which one, so that's kind of a wash. So we'll leave that out of the conversation. For cons, though, he's Courage 2. And Grievous's biggest issue has always been his courage value. It is so easy to suppress that sucker, and then if your Grievous is only performing 1 action, that is a very sad Grievous. He has Jedi Hunter, which is very thematic and great, and crit went 1 on his weapons help to kind of mitigate that. It's still not just a native surge value, and natively surging, at least to hit, is just flat out better than just like critical one. He's also got some odd upgrade slots, in my opinion. It's 2 command slots, a training and a gear. The 2 command slots is just really weird. I would rather that.
He wants a second training.
He wants a second training so desperately for like endurance and tenacity, or like tenacity into the fray, or any combination of those 3, really. And he just doesn't get that, which is really unfortunate. The flip side of that coin is Grievous on a wheel bike. Also, really bulky at 8 health, but adds armor 1, which is just better than regular 8 health. He surges to crit. We just talked about surge charts. That's pretty great. He can perform multiple attacks in a turn thanks to Overrun. Both of those attacks are performed with Pierce. Both have impact. Both
Seems pretty
throw
good.
5 dice, although the color combination changes between the attacks. He's fast. He has the mobile keyword, which means he gets a free move either at the beginning or end of his activation. Fantastic. He has Entourage for a unit that isn't in the game yet as of filming this episode, although I believe it comes out in 2 days, so that's going to be obsolete by the time you're listening to this. He's got a decent array of upgrade options as well. He keeps one of the command slots.
He swaps a command for a grenade.
For a grenade, which is very situationally useful if you put
Ion
impact.
grenades.
No, you put impact grenades on so that he can move into base-to-base contact and force coherence into him. That is a thing that happens. So it adds a melee weapon to his profile.
Which means he can perform
Which
a melee,
means-
which means
Yes.
yeah.
Now, he's a vehicle, so he's not engaged in melee, but he can begin a melee, which means that the defending unit must cohere into him, into base-to-base. So there's some fun things you can do where you can like snap unit leaders off POIs and things like that. Fun for the one driving the unit. He's also incredibly good on his own. He can go off and do whatever work he needs to do on a flank. He can hold it down by himself. He doesn't really need support, where Foot Grievous needs quite a bit of work. The cons, he's a vehicle, so no backup, no guardian, and he's susceptible to ion. He's a larger base, so he's a lot harder to hide. He also doesn't benefit from cover, because, again, vehicle, and the mobile can make him a little bit difficult to maneuver.
So, like, if he gets tow cabled and turned 90 degrees, suddenly he's facing
Sure.
the wrong direction.
You're
got it.
right. That would
That happens
definitely
all the time.
be a problem.
Boy,
Yeah,
do I get
I mean,
cable.
Tow cable stocks are up, guys. You heard
they're
it here
not.
first.
They're not. Nope.
Plus, you can't overrun the airspeeder.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
There's
you
no-
can.
It's
In
not.
my mind,
It's not immune to
you
overrun.
can't.
It's immune to melee, and overrun is not a melee.
Oh,
Stupid
heavens.
rule. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Here's,
Yeah, mobile is both good and bad because he can't reverse, and he doesn't get the free pivot at the beginning of a movement action because he has the mobile keyword.
and he doesn't have a courage value. So unlike the trooper version,
He can't.
you're
be
not
panicked.
going to suppress, which is weird because when Grievous gets on his bike to run away, he becomes infinite courage.
Yeah.
It's like, is it like Timu his safe space or something? Like what happens there? It's his comfort vehicle,
I gotta go fast. you know?
emotional support wheel.
Emotional support though. In terms of personal preference, I do think it really comes down to personal taste. But tournament
doesn't.
results
It
are.
doesn't.
You don't think it does? I mean, tournament results definitely are showing that the wheel bike is extremely effective. I don't
Surge
think
to
there's.
crit on the 1 pip is crazy.
Yeah, there's
That
no
massive
question
base
that it's
on the
good.
1 pip is so good. Like I hear people saying like, "Oh, I'm not immune ranged Pierce." Who cares? You got armor 1.
Yeah,
You're double tapping every round, and like round 2 or 3, you pop the 1 pip, and you just blender the whole world and take up close and personal for 6 dodges when you finish. Like it's not really. I don't think there's a contest. That one's hands down so good.
well,
Interesting.
Agree to disagree,
All right,
then.
we'll let you guys fight it out after the show, and I'll record it, and it'll be on YouTube.
anyway, that is the end of our segment. We've gone through all the characters. It is a bit of a longer episode here, so we appreciate you sticking with us. Hopefully, you've learned about how to think through the various versions of characters that are currently in the game, and hopefully, this is a discussion we come back to in 6 to 12 months to hash out again. Eric,
Yeah, we get squad leader and operative Biston.
Yes.
oh, don't Don't hurt the rebels like that. Eric, quick, move us into your favorite segment.
Stuff we're into. I didn't have anything prepared for this one. I didn't do my homework. I feel like life's just been very busy lately. Stuff I'm into, off the top of my mind, we got a taste of like summer almost recently. It was like in the 80s. It was so nice. I had to unpack my shorts, and then it got really freaking cold again. My mom just texted me. She got 27 inches of snow a couple days ago over the weekend.
I like snow, but that's too much.
So like, I'm really glad I live in North Carolina, but it was still like in the 40s here. Really the only thing I'm into right now, outside of other things that we've talked about repeatedly, thinking about warm weather and just waiting. Every single day I wake up and I hope it's warm, and the odds aren't looking good for the near future, but we're getting there.
This
We're
weekend's
getting there.
supposed to be decent.
Yeah, decent. Dan, how about yourself?
Boy.
Can't
Yeah,
be
my life
Legion.
is
We're not
my
here
life
to talk
is
about
also
Legion.
really busy. I have a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old, and I'm going back to school, so that's really cutting into my tournament time. I'm not making Cherokee, and I'm not making Worlds, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm about finished painting up a unit of Clone Marksman, and then after that, a couple of us at Crit to Block play a little game called Blackout, which is like, imagine, if you will, like skirmish-sized Titanfall. So I got a tournament coming up for that in a few weeks, so I'm going to be painting up a Duster, which is, a Titan from
Looks cool.
Titanfall.
Sure.
So painting that up. And I'm also painting some Kaza Doom dwarves or Middle Earth, just because, I don't know, I like dwarves. They're pretty fun. So
lots of painting as well. Yeah.
and
a lot of painting.
Helldivers. The Illuminate are back. The autocratic attentions have been revealed. So
Always
Gotta deal with-
Helldivers.
deal with them this weekend, man. Boy.
I had forgotten I don't think I've thought about Helldivers for about a month, because you and Joel seared it into my brain at Rocky Top last year. But here we are talking about Helldivers again, so it's back.
Every time we got in the car.
Amazing.
Great trip though. Richard, how about yourself?
I mean, I know this is supposed to be not about Legion, but
Come
Adepticon's next week.
There's one rule, Richard.
Adepticon is next week. We're
What's
going
the
to
rule,
gather with
Richard?
all of our friends. It can't be about Legion. Fine. I've been
No, it's fine.
I
Talk
mean,
about Adepticon.
What else are you going to play at Adepticon?
I am going to the War Machine keynote, which I'm excited for on Thursday. I'm also going to check out Malediction. Has their first world championship at Adepticon as well. So I'm going to go over, check out their booths, see what they're up to, because I really, really like that game. I'm just excited to see all of our friends from around the world that we've made throughout the years of playing. It's been a while since we've seen them in person, and I'm excited to get back to Adepticon. I really am. And we're a week from it today, and I can't wait.
No Twilight Imperium?
The days that they're playing Twilight Imperium would require me to either not be playing Legion or to have
Play Legion very poorly.
Yeah, to have failed out of Legion. Well, so I play Saturday one way or another, right? Which is the current schedule of Twilight Imperium Day, as well as maybe Thursday. But Thursday I'm playing in the warm-up bracket because I don't play Friday and I don't want to go into Saturday cold. So
Well, and you want to get tickets too.
I want to get tickets. The prize wall looks pretty good, so
Yeah. So for anyone who is going to be at Adepticon, Richard, you and Travis and Joe will be
Yes.
there for the whole thing?
we will be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes.
Yeah. I'll be there Saturday, so hopefully, if you see us, want to talk to us, please do. If you see
Yes.
us and don't want to talk to us, please don't.
Ignore us.
If you see me next Saturday, get out of my house.
And look forward to all the things coming up. We've got the Adepticon show. I think there's going to be a lot more to talk about Legion. We've got
Yeah.
the new objectives we'll be doing, continuing our series on primaries and secondaries once we get a little experience with them and can kind of guide you on that. So look forward
Maybe
to
we
lots
get
of
some
things.
teasers for.
You just want Plo Koon information. I know. We get it. We'll talk to AMG. We'll see what we can get you.
Yes.
Anyway, before we close out the episode, we would be remiss to not support some of our friends that are going on and have different events. The Stabcast Open Invitational is going to be Friday, May 22nd through Sunday, May 24th in Knoxville, Tennessee. That is basically replacing what used to be Rocky Top. They're kind of splitting away from it. I think if I understood Ryan right when we were talking on Sunday, they've already sold a third of their tickets. So if you're thinking about going, you might want to get that ticket sooner rather than later. And then we got the Indie Open, June 26th through 28th in Indianapolis, Indiana. Absolutely amazing group of players up there. I am trying to make that one. Not sure if I'm going to be able to. We'll see. There's a lot going on this year and a lot of commitments to tournaments. And there are more to come too. Crucible is later in September. We will have a pretty large contingent going to that as well. So look out for us. If you want to see us at events, these are the events we're going to as far as conventions go. You're always welcome to come to a North Carolina local event if you're in the area.
June 6th, find me in Winston-Salem.
Great. Find Dan in Winston-Salem.
You've got a tournament on June 6th?
Yep.
Man, you didn't tell me.
I haven't made the Longshanks yet because I'm in school and lazy.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, that seems more feasible than the other things Richard's talking about here.
Great. Well, Eric, get us out of here. It's been our longest episode.
Hit us with
been
the
a
tow
minute.
cable, Eric.
Yes. Don't forget to grit to block.